Let's now open the top 5 here with the great Excadrill. As I prepare to talk about Excadrill, I remember the fact that we couldn't figure out the skill type list, which is a really telling sign of how good that typing actually is. Now, we've got to talk about possibly the most important part of Excadrill's mythos. Two of its great abilities, Sandrush and Moltbreaker. The latter of the two is an ability which will allow moves to hit normally in opposing Pokemon's own ability. So, for example, Moltbreaker would allow Excadrill to hit a Pokemon that has Levitate for an ability with the move Earthquake. As for Sandrush, it'll double Excadrill's speed in a sandstorm, thus allowing it to possibly sweep its way through a battle with its speed through the roof, and something like a Choice Band tacked on. Oh, speaking of great items from Excadrill, there's quite a few, like the aforementioned Choice Band, the Life Orb, Air Balloon, and of course, the Leftovers. If you use any of those, you're going to have a good time working out with Excadrill. So, items aren't all that makes the Pokemon. If you really want to get the most out of Excadrill, you can run several moves to help achieve that. Since Rapid Spin got the big buff in the 8th gen, it proves to be a great option on Excadrill to help do away with hazards, as well as speed it up if you're choosing to roll with Moltbreaker. You're able to pull moves like Iron Head and Earthquake to do massive damage. And when you get tanked by Pokemon like Corviknight and Scarlet, you can still tear through tons of other Pokemon that aren't as lucky at being able to handle the powerful stab typings of this Pokemon. Excadrill is just so good. It has been since it first debuted in Pokemon Black and White. And it speaks to the quality of this list that it still finds itself all the way here at number 5. Let's go with Zygarde for the first spot on this list, because that feels extremely right for Zygarde. So let's just disregard stats for a moment and talk about how Zygarde can transform into these different forms. It's got the 10% form and the 50% form, one of which is a dog, and the other, the weird Serpentine Zygarde we're used to. Though the 100% form, which is totally the coolest looking out of the 3, is definitely the one that people tend to think of now when we talk about Zygarde. In its 50% form, Zygarde has 100 base attack, 121 base defense, and 108 base HP, which continues a real streak of being physical among these Pokemon we've talked about today. It has some real bulk behind it, and it'll be quite hard as well. Though that's just in that form. When it goes to 100%, which it can actually do unless its HP drops below half and stays that way, when it enters the complete 100% form, its HP shoots up from 108 to 216, which is honestly a ridiculous jump. Suddenly, this gigantic Pokemon with major bulk is standing there, and it's pretty intimidating, honestly. It almost feels like a Gigantamax Pokemon, though naturally, it is not. So, what moves does this bulky monster get? Well, for starters, there's Earthquake. I know, it's real shocking and groundbreaking that it has access to such a move. However, there's also Land's Wrath, which serves as Zygarde's signature move, and is just a slightly weaker version of Earthquake. There's Core Enforcer too, which is another one of Zygarde's signature moves, this time on the special side of things, and it can be great for ability suppression. Oh, and look at that, there are even more signature moves. Thousand Arrows is able to hit flying types, and Thousand Waves can prevent a Pokemon from escaping battle. There are plenty of other moves, as you can see on screen here, but those signature moves truly stand out as some of the best that Zygarde has access to. It's super deserving of being here in the top 5, no doubt about it. We move on now to number 3, and this spot is taken by one of the most popular dragon Pokemon of all time, Garchomp. There is a lot to be said about just how good Garchomp is and how consistently good it has stayed over the generations. It's got 2 of the best typings available in Dragon and Ground, and it's definitely been given a move pool that makes the most of its stab and provides it with more than enough coverage for its weaknesses. It's got a base 130 attack stat, which is incredibly high, and even maintains good speed, being at base 102, making it one of the best speed physical attackers that aren't legendaries. However, things were definitely a bit different for Garchomp when it Mega evolved back in the 6th generation. That really good 130 base attack, well, it went and boosted that base 130 attack up to 170, making it an even more powerful physical attacker, in fact, one of the strongest in the game at the time. Though, in an unfortunate trade-off, it lost a bit in the speed department, which was definitely its detriment and caused a lot of trainers to shy away from using it over the non-evolved form. All in all, people have been calling it Garchomp for its usage of Earthquake for generations, and it is able to take down some of the best Pokemon in the game. If you're a Pokemon that can absolutely tear through Steel types, you've got a place on a competitive team more often than not. There is not much more left to say here, other than it's Garchomp. So, naturally, it was going to be here on this list.
Trường từ mở xã Battlezord.
So, how do we talk about our
And
Battlezord?
Battlezord
But first, we gotta talk about Flanders. The best measure. Flanders has been a dominant force and competitive for years. And its return to Sword and Shield and the Crown Tundra DLC is very hype. And it's incredible. Lando has got 125 base attack, 115 base special attack, and 101 base speed, which is pretty good, alongside the always fantastic ability Sheer Force. You'd be able to slap a life over this baby and send it out with powerful moves like Earth Power, Focus Blast, Rock Slide, and more. Coverage is abound on this thing if you choose to keep it in its incarnate form. If you choose to go with the Therian form, that's good too. It's got Intimidate ability in the Therian form, and its attack stat bubbles up to base 145. Which of course makes it quite clear that it's going to hit like a truck out in battle. We're talking moves like Outrage, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Superpower, just being able to drill into so many different Pokemon. You even have options for setup, regardless of the form, like Swords Dance and Bulk Up to make that attack better, and something like Stealth Rocks if you want to set up hazards. It's another defog user as well, so it can easily clear the field of hazards if you want to do something about that. Thunder just has so many options like with Thundurus, but it does it all better. If it weren't for the very obvious Pokemon we're about to talk about, we could have easily ended things right here with Thundurus, because it's just that good.
Is it to tell everybody how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need? I mean, sorry. Oh, what? No, only pay for what you need.
Liberty. Flanders. It's just that good. Let's wrap this one up quickly, as we reach number 1 on this top 10. And everyone watching this definitely already knew who it would be. The King of Land, Groudon. I will quickly touch on how good Primal Groudon is, since it isn't in Sword and Shield. But in previous generations, when available, it was so extremely dominant with that Desolate Land ability that it completely removed water moves from the equation and pretty much turned Groudon into an unstoppable machine. Its attack was 150, defense was 160, and special attack was 150, which was just nuts. And honestly, it's a real shame that Primal Reversion didn't return in Sword and Shield. I get there are no Megas either, but man, I tell you guys, that would have been great to have back. Without that form, Groudon has base 150 attack, 140 base defense, and 100 base special attack, which is still incredibly solid. It's got the ability Drought, of course, which causes the sun to immediately appear, which, while not as great as Desolate Land, is still a really nice ability that Groudon is entirely capable of taking advantage of. When it comes to moves, there's the incredibly powerful Precipice Blades that was introduced back in Oras. It's even stronger than Earthquake, but don't worry, Earthquake is available as well. As for Fire-type moves, it's your choice, as there is Lava Plume, Heat Crash, and Eruption, among other moves. You can set up with Bulk Up or Swords Dance, or, for whatever use, as simply a Stealth Rocks Pokemon. Either way, no matter what you use in this thing, it's going to be incredibly dominant in battle. I couldn't think of any reason not to put Groudon as the number 1 ground type. So I think that's the number 1 justification for it to close this one out. Alright, well that's going to do it for another top 10 strongest. The ground typing is so powerful, and it feels pretty nice to have finally completed the trifecta along with rock and steel types. So, we've already got the next few weeks of these planned out, so be on the lookout for the top 10 strongest electric types next week. Let me know what you think about the top 10 in the comments below, and keep an eye out for the next one. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me, consider following my Twitch, where I stream all sorts of games, from Pokemon, to Fire Emblem, to Zelda, and much more. I also have an anime channel called Mystic Sage, where I do anime reviews, rankings, and countdowns. So if you're interested in that kind of content, check that out as well. If you want to support me even further and gain cool perks, check out my Patreon. These lovely people have all given me support over there, and I couldn't be more grateful to them. I think I'm wrap this up, though. I'm Mr. Governor, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.
Don't be.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Some of you may want to turn away right now. Today, we're back with another top 10 strongest video for the bug typing. Yeah, they're definitely creepy and crawly and whatever. But when it comes to Pokemon bugs, there's an extra thing to fear: their immense power. Even though the bug typing is, as a whole, the worst typing of Pokemon, there are definitely 10 Pokemon that are just so good they deserve to be spoken about. I feel that these bug types we have here today represent some of the best of the typing, and I really hope you guys see that. I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Audible. If you guys aren't familiar, Audible is a service provided by Amazon, which blazes a trail for the future of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, all while being the #1 provider of them along the way. They've got everything over there, from recently released books to absolute classics, along with memoirs from all your favorite celebrities. They've got a ton of fantastic original content as well that you can find only on Audible, including podcasts. And who doesn't love a good podcast? Anyway, I'm honored to share with you guys some big news. Audible is offering a tremendous deal on their subscription plan, Audible Plus, for the holiday season. We're talking $4.95 a month for your first 6 months, and then $7.95 after that, which is just such a mind-blowing deal. That's thousands of audiobooks, originals, and podcasts, all available with the Audible Plus plan at such an affordable and generous rate. The Audible app is free to download, and you'll be able to use it on many different devices, including Amazon Alexa-enabled ones. And regardless of where you listen, your progress through a book is kept. I'd like to suggest the Audible original Playing to Win by Michael Lewis, who also wrote the book Moneyball about the Oakland Athletics. It's a real interesting deep dive into the flow of cash in the incredibly competitive world of girls softball. If you're at all a fan of baseball and sports in general, this is an in-depth look you don't want to miss out on. After hearing all this, truly you must understand that now is the time to try Audible Plus and open yourself up to a world of audiobooks, A-list comedy, guided wellness programs, and even more. Go over to audible.com/MrGumbrion or text Mr. Gumbrion to 500-500 to get that sweet holiday deal of $4.95 a month before it's gone. Also, throughout this video, I want you guys to think about what you wish to see as the next typing we do a top 10 for. In fact, by the month of December, we're going to be doing the next typings back to back. So the 4 highest typings with the most votes in the comment section will be next. The last typings are water, ground, grass, electric, normal, and fighting. So get to voting. Alright, let's go head first and face our fears and see if we can figure out just what the best typing is. Alright, so right off the bat, we're going to be breaking some conventional norms of this series, as I felt compelled to name 2 different Pokemon to the 10th slot here on the list. I just could not decide between Durant and Rabombi. So we've got them both sharing this slot. They're actually very different Pokemon, of course, with Rabombi being a fairy type and a special attacker, and Durant being a steel type and a physical attacker. Durant, on the surface, can look like the better Pokemon. It's got Hustle as an ability, which will bump its base 109 attack at the sacrifice of some accuracy. And it already has got 112 defense and 109 speed, which turns it into a possible offensive juggernaut that can go toe-to-toe with strong fairy types, among others. Its real issue is that weakness to fire being ×4 spread, and that isn't something you'll want to deal with. However, even then, it isn't enough to decide how strong Durant is. As for Rabombi, its speed is even better than Durant's with base 124, which is fantastic. And it's also got 95 special attack. Defensively, it isn't superb with 75 special defense and 60 defense. However, the big thing that keeps Rabombi in the conversation and that puts it here with Durant is that it has access to Quiver Dance. When Rabombi uses Quiver Dance, it gets a boost in special attack, special defense, and speed. Its fantastic fairy typing works in tandem with the bug typing to be a dark type's nightmare, and also just absolutely hits hard with moves in its arsenal, like Moonblast and Bug Buzz. And don't worry for all you guys about the comment out there, I know what you're about to say. Sticky Web is also another really great thing that puts Rabombi up here. It's hard to deny that Durant is a strong monster that has a hard time escaping its weaknesses, and that Rabombi is a Pokemon that, when set up, is more than deserving of being included on this list. So now we've got a Pokemon at number 9 that just shot ahead of Rabombi and Durant by a little bit, the Ellie Spider Pokemon, Galvantula. Let's look at the facts here for a second. Galvantula is not an impressive Pokemon outside of its speed and special attack. It has horrible defenses and no look to speak of, meaning it's a major glass cannon. However, as far as glass cannons go, Galvantula is a damn fine one. It has access to Compound Eyes, which is an absolutely tremendous ability, which boosts the accuracy of Galvantula's moves, which is a mirror image of Durant's Hustle ability. We're talking it is now very possible to hit thunder most of the time, whether it is raining or not. Then, if it is raining, well, the chances of it hitting go even further beyond being 100%, which might sound kind of dumb, because it sort of is. But regardless, it's the truth. All in all, Galvantula has a nice typing with a great ability, and moves like Thunder and Bug Buzz take advantage of that base 97 special attack. Even if it gets absolutely floored by a fire type or rock type move, Galvantula has the speed to hit like a truck and make do, even being as frail as it is. Number 8 is a Pokemon that would have definitely been higher if they had kept Megas in Sword and Shield. But since they didn't, I can't see it as being good as it used to be. Now, don't get me wrong, Heracross is still good enough to make it into the top 10, of course. But with the Mega, it would for sure be pushing top 5. While the Mega for Heracross has base 185 attack, which is one of the all-time highest, the regular Heracross still has 125 base attack, which is great. It has a very nice 95 base special defense, which defends it a little bit against the strong fire types out there. But the reality is this: a well-placed Air Slash is still going to more than likely take Heracross out. It doesn't have the next level speed at base 85, which allows it to dip and dodge many speedy flying types. So that's just going to be a problem. Regardless of that though, Heracross still has the power behind it to hit opponents hard, even with the few of its other stats lagging behind. If we take a look in on the abilities that Heracross has, you see both Moxie and Guts as 2 of the 3 available. As I'm sure you guys know, Moxie is a real next level sort of ability. It will boost the attack of Heracross every time it knocks out an opposing Pokemon, which just drives an already good stat up even higher. If you run Guts, then you have Heracross get burned with a Flame Orb or something like that, and its attack will go up even more, albeit it'll constantly be losing some health. Its move pool is headlined by 2 very great stab moves in close combat and Megahorn, with several great coverage moves like Earthquake and Stone Edge being available to it as well. Heracross will always have a lot of potential when not needing to worry about flying types, and that's what's earned its spot here on the top 10. Here on the top 10. Coming in the 7th spot is a Pokemon I felt just edged out Heracross. Although it's Vikavolt. Now, let's get this out of the way. Vikavolt is very slow, and that can be a real turn. It has a base speed stat of 43, which is among the most awful on this list, if not the worst. However, while it is slow as all hell, Vikavolt does have an emphatic 145 base special attack. There needs to be respect shown to the Stag Beetle Pokemon just for that special attack alone, and its ability to slam down on anything with a high-powered Bug Buzz or Thunderbolt. It's got access to Air Slash, Energy Ball, and Flash Cannon as well, which offers a variety of coverage moves to take on Fairy types, Rock types, and other Bug types. It's fantastic. It's a shame that there isn't a hidden power anymore in Sword and Shield, because there's more coverage. There's not much to say from that. Vikavolt is just really good, if not just rather slow. So we move on now from Alola to Unova at number 6, as we say hello to the Megapede Pokemon, Scolipede. Now, you guys already know just how fantastic this thing is, and I think all I really need to say is Speed Boost. See, Speed Boost is such a good ability that it went and got Blaziken banned, and any Pokemon that ends up with it immediately raises some eyebrows. It helps when you've got some good attack too, and Scolipede has got just that, with base 100 attack complementing the 112 base speed. Now, I get how to some of you, it may be seen as a bit of a confusing surprise to see Scolipede appearing at all here, and how many good poison types there are. And for those who feel that way, I have to ask, why? See, Scolipede is a great story, the best poison bug type we've ever seen, and I mean no disrespect to Vitro. Though the simple fact is that in the realm of bug types, especially Scolipede is on another level. It has those great stats I brought up earlier, and then a whole plethora of stab moves, like Mega Horn and Poison Jab, that turn it into a tremendous threat on the battlefield. That is only the tip of the iceberg. As moves like Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Throat Chop will follow behind the great stab stats, as well as Sword Dance, which will drive the attack stat even higher, which is that constantly building speed. The bug type makes Sword type neutral. And while there
Good. But you should didn't that shot by Jim.
That is a fine Pokemon to round
Jim.
out the first half of this list.
Didn't it down. Yeah.